Okay, so we are going to look at simultaneous equations today. And before we look at simultaneous equations, we're going to just take a look at a couple of ordinary little equations over here. So an equation is just a sum. So where you have something on the left that equals something on the right. So for example, 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. That's an example of an equation. Now, if we were to say 9 plus 3 is equal to 12, that's another example of an equation. Because both of these equations are based on the same number system, which is just our regular counting 1, 2, 3 system, what we find is that we can add these equations together and we'll still have a true equation. So what I mean by that is we can add the 9 and the 3 here, and that's going to give us 12. We can add the 4 and the 3 here, and that's going to give us 7. And if we add the 7 and the 12 there, that's going to give us 19. So we can add these equations together and we still get an equation that's true. So over here where we have our simultaneous equations, the same logic applies. We can add this x to this 2x, we can add this y to this y, and we can add this 7 to this 12, and we'll still get an equation that's true. So we're going to take advantage of that fact when we go ahead and try and solve our simultaneous equation. We're starting with question 2 because that's the most simple type of equation that you can get. And what you want to do basically is try and eliminate the y's in this case, because we can only solve an equation when we have one unknown quantity. In each of these equations we have two unknowns. We have an unknown x and an unknown y. So what we're going to do is try and eliminate the y's. That's just going to leave us with x's. And once we have an equation with just one unknown or one variable, it's pretty easy to solve it. So what I do is I write down my two equations. I have x plus y is equal to 7, and then I have 2x plus y is equal to 12. So these are nice easy ones because I can see here that if I just multiply my equation 1, if I multiply everything in my equation 1 by minus 1, what I'll get down here is I'll get minus x minus y is equal to minus 7. So that's my equation 1 multiplied by minus 1. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these two equations together. So step 1, multiply equation 1 by minus 1. And then step 2, add equation 1 plus equation 2. And this one here is equation 2. So if I add 2x and minus x, 2x minus x is x. If I add plus y minus y, they cancel out. And then if I have 12 minus 7, I get 5. So now I have a value for x. Okay, so once you have a value for x, you go back into one of your original equations. So I'm going to go back into this one. And I'm going to substitute in my value for x. So I'm just going to say then x is equal to 5, so 5 plus y is equal to 7. So then I can easily see that y is equal to 2. So I have found my value for y, which is 2, and I have found my value for x, which is 5. And if I go back to each of my equations and I substitute in my x and y values, they should both work. So then I have 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. So I can see that I'm correct there. So that's probably the most straightforward type of a one that you're going to get.